Hi, this is Shanna at CoroWare. Last week I posted an article on our CoroCall Facebook page about living with uncertainty, and I've been thinking about how we always live with uncertainty. The article makes a point of saying, well, sometimes we think we know exactly what to expect, we know what's going to happen in our day. If you think about it, we schedule meetings, some of us live by our Outlook calendar, and yet in spite of what we think is the certainty in our lives, things happen. And so we are constantly faced with the challenges that uncertainty brings. And the article gave us some ideas about how to respond to uncertainty and to embrace it, to move forward. One is to listen to and take ownership of the anxiety you feel when situations happen, when you're not sure what's going to happen next, when you're not sure how to get there. Then imagine the worst. In the article, the person had the opportunity with a family to move to a new location. What was the worst that could happen? Well, the worst was that they wouldn't enjoy it and they could move back where they were. So if you think about it, imagine what is the worst that could happen. And in my case, I've done IT things for a long time. The worst that could happen in one job was that someone could die. We're involved with hospital systems and medical systems. But with the exception of that job, if I totally screw up and ruin things, usually the worst that would happen is that I could get fired. And I've been laid off before, and you can always find another job, usually. So what's the worst that can happen? No one dies. And so imagining what the worst that can happen makes you see that, okay, the worst that can happen is probably not that bad in most situations. Of course, there are situations where the worst that can happen is going to be terrible. Then look inside and find your inner strength. You might need to do meditation or some yoga or take a walk, whatever it is that helps you feel strong. Then focus on what you can control. You can't control what other people are doing in the situation, and you can't control the situation, but you can control yourself and your responses. And that makes the situation a lot less stressful. And then finally, take a look at the challenge as an opportunity. And you know the self-help literature and the positive thinkers always say to do that. It doesn't mean not to see what is difficult. In fact, embrace what is difficult in it and look at it as a puzzle to solve. How do you get around that difficulty? How do you get through the difficulty? Can you turn the difficulty into a strength? And if we do that, the uncertainty that we face all the time is much easier. If you think about it, that's exactly what you do with certain kinds of uncertainty because they're not that big a deal. Well, if you do the same thing with the ones that you see as a big deal, they're going to be a lot easier to face. You're going to feel a lot more in control, and you're going to feel a lot more relaxed as you go in and solve and overcome those challenges. So good luck facing your uncertainties, and thanks for listening.